Representative, always good to have you with us. What's your reaction to where this all stands right now in the Middle East?
Yeah, thanks, Martha. Clearly, John Kerry was running a shadow foreign policy in complete violation of the Logan Act with multiple meetings with Zarif. And I just don't buy that he didn't share what the Israelis were doing, because he's been on record as thinking Bibi Netanyahu's government was destabilizing. And he was the architect of reaching out to Iran. So it's very clear. Israel is our ally. Hamas is a terrorist organization backed by Iran. Every one of those rockets and anti-tank missiles are provided and funded and trained by Iran. And, shame on the left for trying to make this moral equivalence between what Israel is doing and what Hamas is doing. Hamas is deliberately firing rockets on civilians while hiding behind their own civilians. I've been out there. Many of these Israelis have literally seconds to get into a bunker. Every Israeli has a bunker in their house. The Biden administration's response is to throw more cash at the Palestinians and to throw cash at the Iranian regime in this vain hope that everyone will be nice to each other. It's naive and it's destabilizing and it's wrong.
Yeah. You mentioned your colleagues on the other side of the aisle are having an internecine debate about Israel and Hamas. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez came out slamming Andrew Yang, excuse me. Yeah. Here's what she said: he's utterly shameful for him to try to show up at an aid event after sending out a chest-thumping statement of support for a strike that killed 9 children, especially after his silence as Al-Aqsa, the mosque, was attacked. So he had said he was standing with the people of Israel who were coming under attack, but now he has kind of doubled back on that statement, and we have his new statement that we can put up on the screen now as well. A new tweet from Andrew Yang essentially saying, I'm sorry for what I said, basically. Here he says, they felt that my tweet was overly simplistic in the treatment of a conflict that has long and complex history full of tragedies. They were, of course, correct. What do you think?
Well, you're just one more example of the Biden administration saying one thing, trying to sound reasonable and moderate, but kowtowing to the left when it comes to what they actually do. Martha, we are across the board seeing Joe Biden's Jimmy Carter moment here. We have a crisis on the border. We have a crisis in the Middle East. We have a surrender in Afghanistan. We have gas lines for the first time since the 70s heading towards inflation, a labor crisis. This is a Jimmy Carter all over again, and it's because the progressives and the left are in charge. I think that that backtracking on our greatest ally in the Middle East, Israel, is just one case in point.
It reminded me of this soundbite from then candidate Biden back in February of 2020. Here's what he said.
My Lord, if I get elected President of the United States with my position on health care, my position on global warming, my position on foreign policy, my position on the middle class, this will go down as one of the most progressive administrations in American history.
He laid it out pretty clearly.
Yeah, he did, and many of us in the campaign warned America what was going to happen if the progressives are in charge. But that's what we're seeing. And but for a few senators in the filibuster, we would be fundamentally changing America, stacking the Supreme Court, runaway taxes, runaway regulation, centralizing how we vote out of Washington, D.C., going after the Electoral College. And that's because undergirding all of that, they believe this is a fundamentally flawed country that's misogynist, racist, and colonialist. That America is part of the problem, and its allies like Israel are part of the problem, not our adversaries like China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and global terrorism. And that's at the heart of the issue, and you're going to see that play out time and time and time again.
Representative Michael Waltz, thank you very much. Always good to see you, sir. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Martha.